Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th of September. Thank you so much for joining me. This is for your sun or your ascendant. If you get to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did now. This week sees Saturn end its 4.5-month backward journey. I think this is something that we can all let out a collective sigh of relief around. But it is true that last week's full moon in Pisces is still feeding its way into this week's proceedings. This is asking us to remain mindful of the more spiritual or emotional dimension of the more practical elements of our aims and our activities. But it is also true to say that Venus and Mercury are forging a beautiful alliance in the sign of Libra. Of course, Venus rules Libra, so it's in its home zone. And if there is something that needs to be discussed, these two will certainly help us to be a bit more detached and embrace a bit more diplomacy. It is true in the second half of the week that Mercury goes into a square with Saturn, and possibly there could be a bit of inhibition or a bit of a stumble around one particular interaction. But I think it is a chance to reach out, to try to find some consensus, to meet people halfway. However, Uranus is forging an obtuse angle to Venus all this week. So when it comes to relationship issues where money might be involved, it's probably better not to be too impetuous. There's also a quarter moon as this week closes in the sign of Gemini. It's just cautioning us not to try to pack too much in. There is a window of opportunity to be really constructive because Mars is forging an awesome angle to Pluto. So if we're really single-minded and we've done our research and we're very precise in our approach, there is the opportunity for a huge step forwards. But if we try to do too much, this quarter moon is going to catch us out. So if you're planning any do-it-yourself, as this week draws to a close, it's probably best not to be too ambitious. Your specific forecast, Libra, suggests that last week's highly psychological full moon could have seen you doubting some of the things that you're trying to achieve. There's been such a clustering of energy in your 12th house, that would be understandable. But you've been given a huge opportunity with your ruler Venus's arrival in your sign along with Mercury. Believe in yourself. This would be a fabulous time to give yourself a glamorous makeover. Someone could show an interest in you romantically too, and with Saturn taken off the handbrake by ending its retrograde, any emotional repression or a sense of always feeling that other people come to you with their issues and not necessarily recognise the impact on you, that can start to melt away. In fact, a plan that you've been developing on the back burner for some while can really explode into action. And the more it means to you, the more motivated you're going to be. As the week draws to a close, the quarter moon in your sister air sign of Gemini suggests that something could still prove to be a rather sensitive strand. But your ability to see the logic in situations, to detach yourself, and to balance things out is going to be hugely assisted by Venus and Mercury in your sign. It is true that Mercury will be challenged by Saturn, and therefore you may just feel a little bit of a pause again. But keep the faith. The direction of travel is incredibly positive for you, particularly once the sun comes on the 23rd into your sign and we have the autumn equinox. If you'd like to know more about personal astrology based on your time, date and place of birth, please see the link beneath this video. You can order your 2020 forecast, get the rest of this year free and get 30% off. But for now, good luck and goodbye.